Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Create Your Own Cozy. On today's video, I am using some items from the new IOD holiday release. I'm going to use the Santa sleigh mold and the vintage snowflake stamp. If you want to see the fun project that I work on this week, stick around. From the moment I got the new molds and this holiday release from IOD, I poured a bunch of molds with the amazing casting resin that cures up in 10 minutes. As you can see in this one, I'm trying to finish out the bibelots mold from my first video. I'm getting kind of messy. Guys, they put numbers on these molds. I should know exactly how much I need, but look at me just over pouring right here. But I pour out these molds and I didn't quite know what to do with them, so I kind of just let them sit to the side. You can see that when you over pour them, just kind of spread it out. It makes it easier to tear off the lines when it finishes up. I know, I'm a mess, y'all. But do you see how easy this is? It might be a little satisfying too. So I'm using my straight edge to clean up the edges. And then I pour 8 more of these reindeer. Yes, it's 80 more minutes of waiting and being patient for the 8 reindeer along with Rudolph. And I found this already cut to size scrap piece of wood in my wood stash that needed to be, I don't know, made into something beautiful. So I'm using one of my favorite colors from DIY Paint, Prairie Gray. Guys, I just love this color. Today I'm going to add some dark wax. I don't do that very often, but the details on these molds, they're beautiful. And I feel like when you add any waxes or glazes, it really, really brings it out. So I do 2 coats of Prairie Gray, and then I'm going to seal it in with DIY's liquid patina. All of DIY's paint can be reactivated if it is not sealed in. So I seal that in, and then I'm going to go over and get some skeleton key. You guys know I love my color scheme. And I am making this as if I'm making this for my house. And this is what I would totally put up in my home for Christmas time. Camden might even say, Mama, we need to keep it. You know what I mean? So I'm just doing monochromatic colors at this point, and I'm going to do faded burlap, you guessed it, on the presents, and just have my total color scheme going for this particular picture. Next, I didn't know what I was going to do with the background. Originally, I thought I was putting down dark and decrepit, guys, but oh, this was black paint. This is little black dress, and I was like, well, let's just use this paint to kind of stain the raw wood. So I am going to use my water mister and just really spread this paint out and make it look like the wood is stained. Originally, I was thinking of using milk paint and having it kind of be chippy, but I changed my mind. So that first step was not even necessary. But if I was using milk paint and wanted it to chip back to the raw wood, I'd rather it looked stained than fresh from the store, if you know what I mean. So next I'm going to go over the outside and the edges with Prairie Gray. I'm sticking with my color scheme, and I'm going to be using some of the blending techniques that I just learned from Debbie Fremer. And basically, I'm going to put my paint down, let it dry, then come back with my next color and my water mister and go crazy with the blending. So I'm going to let you kind of watch this. This background is kind of morphing. You know what, guys? It took me forever to start because I didn't know what I wanted the background to look like. And then I'm like, you know what? It's just paint. Let's just get started and it'll turn into what it wants to turn into. Anyone else have trouble getting started? It's really not a super complicated thing. The hardest part is just trying it. You're basically taking multiple colors, a water mister, and multiple brushes, and seeing what you can do to blend the colors together. Now I am sealing the whole thing with liquid patina so that if I make any mistakes, the background is intact and I can wipe it back. Next, I'm getting out the vintage Snowflakes stamp. I'm putting it on a thin mount so that the thin mount is in the corner of the board and I can kind of see the spacing of where I want things to be. Guys, I had white ink, but I did not have any empty ink things to try out my white ink. So I have to wait for my IOD order to get here. So I'm using black. Originally, I was not as careful with these stamps because I thought I was going to stamp, paint, and then stamp these. And then I thought, you know what? I like the idea of it looking more like a piece of wallpaper background. The size of these snowflakes and the size of the deer don't really, it's not like to scale. So now I'm thinking of it more like a background and just kind of putting the snowflakes back there. They're not perfect stamps and I kind of wanted it that way. And in fact, at the end, I used a sanding block and some sandpaper to make it look less perfect and more like it was a nice vintage faded background. You can see that I'm putting the dark wax over the dried liquid patina, and I did not muddy the paint, rather it sat down in the crevices, and I'm just wiping it off here, and you can see, look at the difference between one with wax and not wax. I think they look really, really great. I got out the barn quilt cottage color. It is my favorite deep red because Rudolph needs a red nose. This is the most color we're gonna get, guys. Next, I'm adding faded burlap to kind of highlight Santa's clothes and the presents and kind of make this a little bit more interesting without making it completely filled up with details. So here I'm just using the faded burlap on the high points and just kind of dry brushing to make some of these details stand out a little bit more. Then I'm getting my favorite antique gold rub and buff. This is my favorite shade of rub and buff. You know what? It's the only one I've ever had, but I love it so much. It's my favorite. And I am going over the gifts and the reindeer harnesses just to kind of make them stand out a little bit with this gorgeous metallic extra.
this is your first time here, welcome to Create Your Own Cozy. I would love it if you would hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and let me know you are here.
I felt this board needed a little frame, so I found some scrap wood, cut it to size, and guys, look at poor Henry. He is so mad at me with this thing on it, but it is helping his foot heal because he can't mess with his foot. Look, he's even gonna find a little wag for us. Poor guy, don't you feel bad for him? Anyway, I am going to stick with Prairie Gray and do 2 coats and some liquid patina on the edge. And guys, I thought I was recording the right part. Instead, this is what I'm recording right here. I took wood glue and I put it along the edge of the baseboard. The wood glue is really the stuff that's going to make it stick, and then I used my nail gun to keep it in until the wood glue has it nice and solid. Isn't this great footage I got for you guys? Next, I'm going to use Type-On Quick and Thick to get the resin pieces glued on. I tried just using my fingers, and that was a no-go. So I went and got a Q-tip, and that was a much neater way to clean up any glue that happened to seep through the front and make sure everything stayed. So little Henry, he got bit by the next door neighbor's dog. I know. He usually goes up to their fence to like lean up and kind of taunt them, hey, I'm out and you're not. And about 2 weeks ago, it did not go so well. We went to the vet, we tried healing without a cone, but the dog is a licker. So we went back and got a cone, and although he's pretty mad at me, he is definitely healing a lot quicker without him constantly messing with it. Also, this week, today actually, as I'm filming this, is my husband's 50th birthday. Oh my gosh, how are we 50? I mean, I'm a year and a half behind him, but how is this already our life? 50 and he has a 10-year-old, so we're in a different stage of life than definitely our parents were when they turned 50, for sure. But we have been celebrating Daddy, so working on this project this week was good for me to kind of slow down. I got a new IOD order placed. I went up to my Soul Sisters booth and revamped some things. I've got some ideas to revamp Angry Mamas a little bit. And so like I just needed to take it a little slower, and it was good for me to just do one project and do it well. Like I had a really good time doing this week's project. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys get inspired to maybe do something on your own? Let me know in the comments below. If you are new here, thank you for being here, and please consider subscribing and joining this family here over at Create Your Own Cozy. If you want, you can wish Brett a happy 50th birthday. How is this happening? No. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the paint and products I used in today's video over at createyourowncozy.com.